All right, Virgos, welcome to your monthly Sidereal Astrology forecast for February of 2016. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology, which, if you're new to the channel, be sure to check the description down below because the signs are different. All right, Virgo, so this month, things are still very much expanding with the life path, which is this Jupiter North Node conjunction. This first half of February, they will be within this 1 degree orb. So still very strong with this. And you probably noticed this energy in the last part of January. So what it is it's optimism perhaps, and it's also seeing what's possible with our life path. And for you, that's all shifting towards your spirituality, your 12th house. The North Node is now going into that 12th house to meet up with Jupiter, which has already been expanding for you for about the past 7 months. You've probably been learning more about spirituality, maybe getting that alone time, or at least there's been more opportunities to do so, maybe prayer and meditation and things like that. But whatever it is, now with that insight and what you've learned, and I'm sure still learning in regards to these things, it can really help set that solid foundation now for these next 2 years, which will be pulling you into that spiritual direction. So a very deep time, a very spiritual time of understanding more about yourself on that deeper level, what really matters in life and what life is truly about, and how to really have that faith and trust in the divine process. So that's going to be the first half of the month. Now on the 5th and 6th, Venus is going to be going over Pluto. So with this one, there are transformations perhaps around home, family, and your health this month. Now coming into the month, you're probably enjoying these things quite a bit with Venus in that 4th. But around the 5th and 6th, there is this transformation. So it's all about clearing out the old, making way for the new in regards to home matters, family matters, and your health. And in that way, you do create these new beginnings, which is very cyclical with this Venus energy, which usually happens about once a year. Now, it could also be involving your financial or material aspects of life, since Venus rules your 2nd, and maybe even involving the expansive and philosophical views of your life path. You know, what's life about? And seeing your life from that top-down perspective. All of that could be changing. So being open to that is a great way of working with this. Now, on the 8th, we do have a new moon in Capricorn, which is in your 5th house, which is all about self-expression, creativity, playfulness. And you're probably already focused perhaps on your interests or the things that you're passionate about in life with the sun already here. But now there's new beginnings shaping up for this area. So they're subtle, of course. They do take time in the short term, 2 weeks. They'll be culminating probably around the 23rd when we have the full moon, but mostly in the next 6 months. So these new intentions, these new things you set around what your passions are, your interests, your creative pursuits, can really set the stage for that. Now on the 9th and around the 9th, Mars is going to be trining up to Chiron. So you guys, all of us could be feeling quite healed. But for you, maybe in regards to this motivation and drive that lately you've been putting in towards financial matters, or getting your financial nest egg, or following your values, pursuing your values in life, whether it's material or otherwise. So with that, it's feeling quite rejuvenated, quite healed in the process. And Mars is quite well aspected this month. Because on the 13th and 15th, and pretty much this whole middle part of the month, Mars is going to be in harmonious aspect up to this Jupiter North Node conjunction. So this is very nice, maybe with that rejuvenation and that easier energy there, channeling that towards that spiritual alone time, right? Maybe it's doing things that are active, and through activity, you find the meditation in that. Maybe it's working with chi, but whatever it is, it's setting intentions, right? Setting those intentions to pursue those spiritual avenues. Now, it's a sextile, so it's an opening. It's not a given, but I think there will be something here, at least on some general level for all of you, to put in and implement more of that motivation towards the spiritual aspects. Now, also this middle part, on the 14th, the sun shifts into your 6th house of health, diet, routine, daily activities, which is going to be the emphasis next month once we have the new moon. But definitely this shift here, where I think you'll find more of the energy and motivation to take care of the daily things, or maybe get involved with work or self-improvement or developing your craft. So it's a very good place to focus, and I think naturally you'll find good vitality there for the second half. Now on the 14th also, Mercury does go into the 5th. So they kind of swap. You know, the sun moves, but at the same time your Mercury goes in there. So I think you can learn quite a bit, in fact, about your interests this month and going into March. So here it's all very practical. It's all very applicable. So seeing how you can apply your interests and really maybe even tie up loose ends and get more definitive with it is a good way of working with Mercury in the 5th. Maybe even also communicating your self-expression, you know, the things that are passionate to you, that you're interested in. Now, Venus does also go into that 5th. That'll be a little later on the 17th. So I think you can enjoy quite a bit the creativity, the self-expression, romance perhaps on some level, but whatever it is you're passionate about. And enjoying those going into March also. So that's a great place of enjoyment. And I think naturally with your ruler here, it'll be nice to have Venus so close by, really emphasizing the 5th house creative self-expression for you. Now on the 23rd, Jupiter is going to be opposing up to Chiron, which isn't anything new. We've already been experiencing this since last year. So with this, it's all about this healing that's been taking place with your daily activities or with your self-improvement and those more self-oriented energies of the 6th house of taking care of whatever it is that needs to be healed or taken care of. So the key with this is that with all this expansion that is unfolding with the spirituality and the alone time, allowing life to guide you, having that faith and trust, it's all about balancing that with the daily activities, right? Especially with Neptune in that 6th house. So seeing that your spirituality is your work and your work is your spirituality. You know, and here by work, I just mean whatever it is you do on a daily level. And in that way, you ground and you balance these two areas of life, which are all about, you know, our spiritual work, whether it's the meditation or whether it is, you know, our daily activities, but it's really seeing them as one and the same, and how you can even bring in more of this faith and trust and present moment awareness to whatever it is you're normally involved with. Now on the 23rd, we do have a full moon in Leo, which is quite nice, which will be in that 12th house. So here, you guys do have this illumination now around the 23rd to really see what these spiritual interests and spiritual passions are, because it's all happening in Leo. You know, and Leo is about interests and passions, and for you, it's usually in regards to getting that alone time, that rest, and having that peace and presence. So you have that visibility, you have that insight, and that's really good because it's signaling and helping you with these new shifts that are taking place with Jupiter and the North Node. Now, one thing I do want to say with that full moon, though, is that it is going to be squaring up to Saturn and opposing up to Neptune. So here, taking it nice and slow, staying grounded and practical with it will be important, as well as, again, having faith and trust that everything in the daily sphere is unfolding in divine timing with Neptune there. And this will be specifically emphasized on the 28th once the sun goes over Neptune, topping off the month, where maybe it is good to get that rest, take that time out, and maybe even bring in more of those meditative or spiritual qualities into your work or daily activities. All right, Virgo, so hope you guys have a great month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.